Yo, 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 welcome back to Crazy Bull TV. Thank you so very much for joining me for another episode. Big up to Mandem in the building. Appreciate every single one of you guys. You know the deal. Let's get this algorithm going. Please share, subscribe, like. Big up to the Mandem who subscribed, via K-Mac's channel. Appreciate you guys. Big up to K-Mac. Talking about the devil. He's in the building. K-Mac is in the house. Thank you. As I was giving you your flowers, thank you so much for the subscription that we got yesterday. We almost got to the 530. We got to 529 actually after the show was over. And of course, big up to Jamie also, giving me some love on his channel. Big up to Mandem. We appreciate us. Ozen is in the building. We got RTV Sports. Loss is in the house. Everybody seems gloomy, sad. It's okay. We're going to talk about all that. Okay, Mike, how you doing, boy?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. Something weird happened last night. I was in the pub. I was in the pub after the game, and a bird shat on me.
What?
Yeah, and it's good luck, isn't it? So let's see what happens, because a couple of good luck things happened afterwards. So maybe the bird should have shat on me before the Liverpool game.
Man, I remember one time one of them hit me in the back of the head. Man, I was like,
I felt it. No, I literally went. Like
yeah.
knocked me like.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah, man. Yesterday's. Let me put this thing now. Let me share a couple of screens. We just gonna talk about the match. We know what the deal is. Everybody has had time to digest. Everybody has had time to. We
can chop it up.
If you watch the game again, if you did not and you're still upset, it's okay. We will talk it, but we have to make sense of everything. We can't just be like Arsenal fans or Manchester United fans, because that's what a section of Liverpool fans are already there. I shouldn't say they're becoming like that. They are already there. So we were always consider ourselves that we know football. Nowadays, a lot of us act like they never watched a game of football, or they just started watching football. Like Kabak is like, I'm still pissed off. Brother, I feel you, man. I feel you. Big out to RTV, man. Big up yourself. It's a very disappointment performance yesterday. That is a very correct assessment. Big up to loss. Need to bounce right back against AC Milan. Exactly. The next two games will, if you want to lose your hair off the performances of AC Milan and was it Bowman? If not off one game, you could get mad. It's okay to be mad, but to the point where you making no coherent messaging, then why should we even talk? But let's share this. This was the lineup that the manager used.
Do you want to put Trent and Robbo in their positions in the game? Because they win in those positions any time in the game.
Now we will discuss this. I think there's a point that you made yesterday on Ensman TV. They did not agree.
They were shocking. Those two players were the reason why we lost that game. That game.
Mm-hmm.
They were horrible. Like Trent, 2 out of 14 duels? Robbo, 1 duel he went in for. Like, are you serious? Like Trent, 16 long balls? Like this is the level. We're
gonna talk about
those two gave us.
There's a lot of
and they're not being singled out, and I find that really weird that they're not being singled out, because they did nothing what they were supposed to do in a slot team. They did nothing that you're supposed to do in a slot team.
Yeah.
We're not even going to talk about Nunes, Hollywood, because there's just no point. There's
no point. The thing is, I don't know why everybody talking about...
He didn't touch
the ball. Do it. The guy just showed up. Yeah.
He got in the Wayne Gatco's game. Like he kept on getting in the way of Gapco. Like what's Gapco supposed to do when he's got Nunes marking him? Like, oh man, like we'll chop it up. We'll chop it up.
Yeah. Now, come back and say, Chrissy. Let me make sure I bring everybody else. Oh, I was finally my messages that I tapped in finally got in there. He said, "I'm glad I'm not Spurs fan. That real torture. They're struggling right now, huh?"
They got robbed. They got robbed, didn't they?
Yeah, Everton fans and
Oh my
Everton,
God.
man, you guys.
I'd hate to be Everton because they've actually played really well this season.
And
Like they really
yeah,
have. They
and I
played
think
some
eventually,
really good football and been
eventually it's
beaten
gonna click.
consistently.
Yeah, eventually it's gonna click.
Yeah, they
Only
need.
football can cure football. We need 3 point next week to get this out of the system. That's
We do.
true.
We do.
Because if you make it to Liverpool, them seagulls are everywhere. I might have to bring an umbrella then.
I think
I'll
it was
have
a
to bring
hawk.
an umbrella.
I think it was a hawk that did me.
Ooh.
Yeah, they're
Newcastle's winning right now. Wow,
Yeah, they're winning.
they were down. What's wrong with Wolves? Not playing well at all.
No.
That you will get crapped on for sure. Soboslai had to shoot. We'll talk about Soboslai. Nunes is losing the ball that led to their goal. Okay. Robinson is trash now. He's finished. I want to know why he said that. Nunes is horrible football, absolute dross. They need to play from back the straight your position and open spaces, not high line possession. Now, that is the part where, first of all, I don't think Robo was trash, but Trent was lesser than him. But K-Mac, the back line, did you think that was when I was on your show, big up to the K-Mac channel, you said you wanted Simicast to play because Robo had played way too much games, right? So were you surprised when he basically put the same lineup from the Manchester United?
Yeah, I was. Like on Jamie's show, I said it would make sense if Robbo was rested. It would make sense that maybe McAllister didn't start, and potentially Jota or Diaz maybe gets rested. And Alexander's right. Like Slot got it wrong. Like he really did. Like he thought he could go again.
Yeah, a few things, and I would say why I think he got it wrong. But please go ahead.
I mean, he thought he could go again with that team, and the problem is, and this is what I said as well on Enz's show afterwards. I don't feel like we've got anything that's going to change us off the bench. Like the players that he brought off the bench aren't players that are going to change the game. Like Nunes should be changing the game because that's the kind of player that you expect him to be, but he's not. But he's just not. He's just not that type of player.
Yeah.
So, and if you haven't played any of the players that are on your bench at all this season, as in none of them have really had a good run of games, they've only played like 15 minutes here, 30 minutes here. Like, what are you expecting them to do? Like, you're not expecting them to impact anything or even get into a game when you haven't actually played any of them to any extent. Like, you brought Bradley on and put Trent in midfield. Well, you didn't put Trent in midfield. Trent was in midfield the whole game. Like, he was horrible. He was horrible. Like, and I don't care what Savage says, okay? Don't care if Savage comes at me for this. He was trash, absolute trash in that game. And I've watched it back and I've looked at the numbers. He was garbage. I reckon that was probably Trent's worst game I've seen in about a year for Liverpool. He really was. He was terrible. Okay. And I felt like he had the swagger that he had with England, where he felt like he was playing against a Finland, and he didn't have to do any right back stuff. He didn't have to do any running, and he was just cozying around in midfield. And he won no duels, and he didn't do anything with the ball consistently. Okay, that's just consistently. And the numbers don't lie. Like the numbers don't lie, and my eyes don't lie either. And and he gave like, if you're in midfield, help the midfield. Like get involved in the midfield work if you're in midfield. But you didn't help Gravenberch, you didn't help McAllister. Like Dominic Szoboszlai was just doing shuttle runs all game, trying to get back into midfield because I don't know what Trent was doing there because he wasn't interacting with the midfield at all. Play as a right back. You played as a right back for the last 3 games, and you've been really good. Like, and we are really going in on Salah on this game, saying, "Well, Salah had this and Salah had that and Salah did this." Salah had no support on the right-hand side. He had no support when he got the ball. It was him because Trent wasn't overlapping. Trent wasn't doing any of the runs, which is what he was supposed to be there for. And I went on Enz's show and I said it genuinely felt like I was watching Jurgen's team from last season.
That's the part where I said I agree.
Because Robbo and Trent were so far forward that they weren't doing the jobs that they've been doing in the previous games, where they've been supporting the defense and the midfield.
Right.
Which is why I'm saying on that screen you've got there, put Trent next to McAllister and put Robbo next to Gravenberch.
Because that's they play like 2-4 something. I mean, this is the thing. I'm gonna be honest with you.
2-4-2-2. I don't know.
This is the thing, right? We will talk about the fans' emotions later, but I kind of agree a little bit. This is a part where the back line. I was in the mold of you saying maybe Simica should start, right? Trent, you didn't go too far. Robbo's been playing a lot of games and he just came back from an injury. So I was a little bit, I'm like, load management because we need Robbo to start against AC Milan.
Literally got the left-hand side goosed. Like McAllister. Exactly. I think McAllister's injured, by the way.
McAllister is also I need to swap them around. Let me see here.
McAllister was goosed. Robbo was goosed. Diaz was goosed. Like they were all just goosed. Like
this is the part where I agree
the whole left-hand side of the pitch was goosed.
Yeah. What's the name? I think it was Loss. Loss said this. Slot got it wrong. This is the part where I think he got it wrong. The South Americans were tight, especially McAllister and Diaz. They played Copa America. They went far in the Copa America, right? Big up to Sefway. Good to see you. The international break broke our momentum. I agree. And that's why I will bring that up again.
It also broke their brains because
they tired. They tired.
They did nothing.
They knock it.
The slots told them when he came back.
And the crazy thing is, so that I was expecting the part where I agree that Slot got it wrong is at 67 minutes, I was like, we are in trouble. I almost tweeted that at 67 minutes when Wolves started bringing in the attackers, I'm like, we are in trouble. Why?
Yeah,
you could tell that we were tired. The thing that I think Slot made a mistake is McAllister's Diaz. Robbo, and even Jota. Either you start them or you sub them early. Either you don't start them, but if you do start them, sub them early because those guys are fatigued, right? McAllister has been playing football all summer. He went to the furthest part of. He just came back from international break, but preseason he showed up last week. The last week of preseason, and then when he went back to international break, they already said his groin had fatigue in it. It wasn't injured; it was just his body was fatigued. You could see that from his game yesterday, right? Diaz, his step over was not as quick as the Manchester one. He was also knocking, right? He also went to the final Copa, and then international break they played him 180 minutes. So. Right there, I'm looking at be like, hey, start Gakpo because Gakpo was right here in Europe. He didn't have to go far, right? Even though Gakpo played a lot, he didn't have to travel 5,000 miles across the globe, right? So with me, you start with Gakpo. Nunes gets a chance to start. Why? Because he didn't go anywhere. Let's start integrating him into the team so he learned that slot system because he still haven't figured it yet. Yet, in the game, I don't want to put too much on him because he barely played 30 minutes. You can't tell a striker to be a superstar in 30 minutes. It's impossible. A striker's job is to score goals. Running around sometimes, yeah, it's fancy, it's cool. You're doing the dirty work, but at the end of the day, be in place to score a goal. I didn't see that, right? The defense was okay. The only problem I had with Virgil was leadership wasn't there. I'm sorry. People could come at me. You knew that the team was not playing at their best. There's a couple of times where when he was forcing a pass, right? There's a time where Ibu was also forcing a pass. The thing is, our defense is so good. Just because we make a mistake and we recover, does not mean we didn't do something wrong.
Well, no,
that's not supposed to happen in the first place.
No, the biggest problem in this game, okay, and I can read the chats, by the way, so I can see what you're saying about Trent, okay. But the biggest problem in the game was Trent and Robinson, and the reason why we couldn't play our game because they weren't there. There was nobody for Konate and Virgil van Dijk to pass the ball to, because they literally gave a job to man-mark Gravenberch. Like,
yes,
they're attacking midfielder, man-mark Gravenberch. So Gravenberch couldn't get the ball. So we couldn't get the ball to spin to then put us on the front foot. That's why you need Trent and Robbo to drop back and show themselves, so you could play the ball around your back and then go wider. And they weren't there. They were never there. They were never there to show. So you've got Virgil van Dijk playing long balls, and you've got Konate trying passes that he's not used to passing. And then all they've got to do is send their wingers, which are fast, both fast players, down the right-hand side and down the left-hand side. And we didn't have anyone there. We just didn't.
Because you know what they did?
And I understand what Slot did. Like, Slot tried to make the defense more compact and more players. Because he was like, oh, you know what? I might as well just leave Trent in midfield, because you know what? That's what he's done the whole game. Like, whether I wanted him to do it or not, I don't know. Like, if they were Slot's tactics, then they were shocking. Like, they were shocking tactics. If Slot's tactics were basically to go, you know what, Robbo? You just keep on running into the opposition's penalty area on your own. You just keep on doing that all game and make yourself tired, because that's what he did. If that's what his tactics were, then that's what his tactics were. But for me, I just don't think any of the players did what they're really supposed to do. And we can sit here and talk about, like, you know, we had chances and this and that, and Diaz played well when he was on. All Diaz had to do was square the ball, and there was a guy stood there to tap it in an open goal.
Yeah, the first one that he forced to hit the post.
He tried to do it all on his own, and he hit the post.
That's the
all he's got to do is pass it left, pass it right. Like Salah the same, pass it left, pass it right. Like, this is the reason why Slot implements these wingers and this wide play, because you get so much joy down that side that you square the ball to a guy who can tap it into an open net. And they were greedy again. Salah was greedy. Diaz was greedy. Like, seriously?
No, let's be honest. People thinking that I'm going as the manager.
I think Szoboszlai was stood there for an open goal, by the way. I think
Szoboszlai there was two opportunities where if they scored the pass, Szoboszlai was there. When I was on your show, K-Mac, who did I say I wanted to see take them a game off? If you remember.
Say that again.
I said Friday when we did the preview, I said they're going to make it ugly.
Yeah.
They're going to be very pragmatic. And because of that, there's one player that I want to see take the game over.
Oh, that was Dom.
Exactly. Thank you. The fact that Dom could not do his job means that these people did not adhere to what Slot told them to do. And that's why I'm talking about leadership was not in there, because I guarantee you this is not how Slot ball is. What Forest did is not different from what Ipswich did. It's not different from what Brentford did, right? Manchester United, okay, they were all over the place, right? What this match is no different from the first match that we played and the second match that we played. The difference is we did not play Liverpool ball. That is the problem. And people need to understand that. I'm trying my best not to make it into one person's problem, but everybody was trash. Everybody did not do their job. The people who came off the bench, they didn't even know what their job was anymore. They just showed up and thinking that, oh, I'm just going to go back to what I'm used to. And this is a part where I'm sorry, people don't want to criticize K-Mac for. This was people thinking that Klopp was on the sideline. What did Trent do? How many times was Trent? This is the reason why I keep telling people Trent should never play midfield. Sending the ball long, because we cannot pass the ball. The reason why we couldn't pass the ball was because people were stationary. I'm standing here, you standing over here. I pass the ball, you pass it back. No. That's not slot ball. Slot ball is pass and move, which is supposed to be Liverpool actually style of play. If you don't know about it, go back to the Shankly days. You know, Barcelona, you guys call it tiki-taka. But Liverpool used to call it pass and move. We didn't do that yesterday. And that's what hurt us. And then when we panicked, all of a sudden people could not pass anymore. We kept losing the ball the whole time. Right? People started playing ISO ball. Diaz is trying to do it by himself. Salah is trying to do it by himself. Jota is lost because it's like, wait a minute, what are we doing now? Right? Should I drop all the way back in the midfield and carry the ball? One time he carried the ball all the way to try and carry the ball all the way from midfield to, which is not the way we play. The only time you do that is when there's space. Right? Now, the part where I'm going to criticize the manager is Robo, McAllister, and Diaz, and possibly Jota should not have started. I'm going based on amount of games they played.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I'm saying. I'm going based on the amount of games they played. These players at 67 minutes, Liverpool was tired.
Yeah.
Right? You could see the fatigue. And when the fatigue came in, what did they do? They went full club style of football. And then it was just long ball. Salah gets the ball. Instead of passing, what does he do? He's trying to I'm gonna dribble into through the middle and then try to hit the top bin. No, pass the ball. Right? So the players were all confused. They were all doing whatever they are comfortable doing, which is the past 8 years what the manager was doing. If you watch this game and you are picking on one player, I'm sorry. It's easy to pick on one player. I see the whole Szoboszlai was trending for no reason. Watch the game again. Szoboszlai was running way too much.
Yeah, he was tired.
His passes was off because people were not running the way he thought people were supposed to. Right? Salah was doing something.
He showed as well. Look, the thing about it as well is I get it. I get it when players don't play well, yeah, but then they go hiding. Mm-hmm. But he showed, like, he was always there. He was always available. He tried so hard in that game. Like, he nearly scored the equalizer, by the way. Like, took a really good block from their defender.
Honesty, I think honesty. Let me talk to honesty real quick. Yeah. Honesty, calm down, and let's look at it this way. 99% of these players are still clubs players. Do you agree or disagree? If you disagree, put it there. If you agree, put it in there, right? 99% of these players are club players. Chiesa is the only player that this guy has brought in, and he was not even on the squad's day, right? These players did not do. We both know they did not do what the manager asked them to do. Do you agree or disagree? Okay. Now, these players were doing something that we didn't see from preseason, plus the first 3 matches that we played before the international break.
That's a fact.
So when they were not playing the way they were supposed to play, they started playing something that they were mentally comfortable with. And that was the previous manager they've been with 8 years. So do not try to compare, well, if we win, does it mean that it's club? No, it's not that. We have already told you from the day one, the manager has to break that bad, has to take it away from the club system, away from them, and it's going to take a while. Hence the reason why they haven't given anybody new contracts. He said it himself. People are not listening. He said for them to get a contract has to be how they play, and if we feel like we want to give them a new contract. These players yesterday did not play the way that Slot wanted them to play. And they need to look at themselves.
Yeah.
They need to look at themselves.
And we are being critical of the manager, by the way. Like we are being critical of the manager. Like we're being critical by saying that he should have changed the team up. Like he should have played some different players. And I am being critical by saying if it was Slot's tactics to basically put Robbo into the opposition's penalty area at every chance that he could have got in the game when he was on, then they're bad tactics. And if it was Slot's tactics to basically let Trent just play in midfield, because he didn't do anything at right back, by the way, then that's down on the manager. But I don't see that. Like I genuinely don't see that. And he talked about the fact that the players weren't doing what they were supposed to do, and they weren't controlling the game, and they were doing things badly. Like that was the worst game I've ever seen Salah play for Liverpool
in a long time. This one reminds me of last season when Salah was when he came back from AFCON.
Yeah, it was so
that
bad.
Reason why, he was so bad. Klopp was benching him. This is exactly how he was playing.
Robbo was horrendous. McAllister was really poor. Like Virgil van Dijk was okay. Canate was okay. Like Ali shouldn't have let that goal in, but he did.
Ali's my guy. You guys know that. But Ali, I'm sorry, dive. You dive, your finger touched the ball. Yeah.
Like unfortunately, man of the match for me in the Liverpool team was Gravenberch again, and he was completely man-marked in the game constantly. Like I can't even talk about the subs because did they touch the ball? Like I don't even know whether they touched the ball. Like Jota had I think Jota had less than 20 touches in the game. Like we just couldn't get him into the game. Like so I understand the manager changing things. Like he was taking people off, trying to make a change in the team.
Yeah.
But I just think it was a bad decision because he made 3 subs, but he really made 5 subs because when he made those 3 subs, he moved 2 players around. So it all got really disjointed and Bradley's coming on thinking he's going to play right back, but he didn't. He ended up playing centre back.
Yeah.
And that was weird. And then you've got Trent.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. That's the part where I don't know. Yeah. RTV Sport. I don't know why you said why you bring in avoid headline. Why did Trent needs to talk about his contract? I don't get it.
I don't get it, bro. I genuinely believe I'll take this all the way to the biggest hill. I genuinely believe he left him on because he didn't want the media. Honestly,
I agree.
He should have been the first person taken off. Like him and Robbo, like either or him, Robbo or Zobbo, any of them, just drag them off. Like they were so bad in the first half. Like, but you can't take Trent off at half time again. Like, just after half time, are you going to take him off again? Like, like it is literally like Real Madrid are going to be on the phone to him after the game. You know what
but
I mean?
The thing is, I'm sorry. The thing is, I'm sorry, bro.
And you got man of the match twice for England.
Honestly, I don't want to be hearing their contract in the media because what it does is it is a distraction to the players, it's a distraction to the squad, and it's a distraction to the fans. That's their contract. Why should we know what's going on? When the time is right, we will know. If not, don't talk about it because all it does is have everybody say something bad. Right now, look at that. We lose one game and everybody's talking about something that has nothing to do with exactly how we played, right? If we play well, contracts don't matter. We play bad, then, oh my God, we need to sign them. Yesterday, I made a comment in Hollywood. I saw what you said. People were talking about, let's give Salah 400 off because he played 3 games. If you are upset because we lost 1 game, then you shouldn't be excited about the 3 games and keep saying, oh, it's just 3 games, it's just 3 games. So if we lost 1 game, it's just 1 game. Everybody knows we were never going to go undefeated. So it doesn't matter when you lose the game. What it matters is consistency. And The international break, if there's any excuse, is that the international break our momentum. That's the only excuse. Yeah. But even with that, we should be able to play enough to win this game. Liverpool
Can I ask you one question? Can I ask you one question? And I'll also ask the chat this as well. Would you rather, hypothetically, would you rather we lost this game now at the start of the season when the coach is learning how to play 3 matches a week and that stuff, or would you rather lose a game right at the end of the season
when it matters,
which decides on us winning the league or not?
I'd rather have us make the mistake now, because
would you take the mistake?
I'd rather have us make the mistakes now. Exactly. Make the mistakes now so we can figure it out.
Because this is the scenario. By the way, because I had a feeling that we were going to go on this mad unbeaten run, like Xabi Alonso has with Bayer Leverkusen. Like, I did not see this coming at all, by the way. I thought it's going to be a win. It's going to be 2-0, 3-0, maybe 4-0. Like, I genuinely didn't see this coming. Like, they had 5 shots in the game, by the way, and 2 of them were on target and 1 of them went in. Like, they didn't have a huge amount in the game. Like, their XG was less than 1 goal. So our XG was less than half a goal. Like, so let's just really break it down into what really happened in the game. They didn't really do anything in the game, and their whole plan was not to do anything in the game. It was just to make it really hard. But this was one of those games where we'd been beaten. Yeah. We played really, really bad.
Really bad.
Like,
really bad.
So the manager now has an idea of how the team can be really bad. Yeah. He's now learned a lot about a number of players, individuals, and I would say left back and right back are really high on that agenda, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if we went out and got a left back in January now. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he maybe brought Owen Beck back, because he's having a loan of his life by the looks of it at Blackburn Rovers. But he now knows he needs to rotate more. Okay. And he also now knows that the international breaks, we have hangovers. Like, that's just a fact. It happened with Klopp consistently. Consistently
with Klopp. At the beginning of Klopp tenure, every time
when we came back.
we were played poorly after international break. He got better when, the couple years, I think 2 or 3 seasons in, you could see that things are a little bit changed. He was not playing the players.
My prediction against Milan, I honestly don't know. Like, I actually think we might lose that game.
That's where
I really don't care, because we need to win against Bournemouth.
Yeah,
I can take a loss. I can take a loss in the Champions League League early on, but we need to win against Bournemouth. We got 2 without a win. Whoa.
Yeah, this is the thing for me.
It gets nasty.
If
it does, our fans turn. Our fans will turn if we lose against Bournemouth. And let me tell you,
even Bournemouth,
Bournemouth shouldn't beat Chelsea. Bournemouth shouldn't beat Chelsea.
Bournemouth is going to be a hard game. Bournemouth is just going to be this game. It's just going to be just like this game. But big up to the man them in the chat. Big up. Thank you so much for you being here with us. Trust us, we're all disappointed, but the goal is to have a proper dialogue. Please share, subscribe, like, get the likes up. You know the deal. We always we're trying to get 21 likes before the end of the show. So if everybody hit the like button right now, just hit the like. All you have to do is just click the like button. You could disagree with all you want, that's fine. But just hit the like button so that we get to our goal. Big up to Mandem in the building. So with me, this is the thing that I'm hoping, and honestly, you probably know more than us since you come from that area. What does Slot do when he makes a mistake? Does he keep doing the same thing? See, the problem was some of us had with Klopp was when he makes a mistake, he tried to keep doing it until whatever he's trying to do, he perfects it, right? So if he plays a formation or a tactic and it doesn't work, he doesn't change. He tries to perfect that tactics for it to work. based on what you know about Slot from the Eredivisie, and you said that when he won the league, he used to play long balls. That Slot do continue to do the same thing? Because from what we saw yesterday, he literally did not do what Slot did from the preseason to the first 3 games. So either he gave the instructions to people and people did not listen. Hence the reason why I said leadership was not there. And leadership is not only on Virgil. Trent is part of the leadership. Salah is part of the leadership. Allison is part of the leadership, right? So also Robo. If the leadership is not looking at what, hey, we are not playing the way we're supposed to play. Move around, right? And they're not, then, hey, manager, why are you keeping them on? Because when the subs came in, the way I saw the sub play was they were trying to play what the manager have told them to play. The other people exactly, and the other ones who were on the team was also playing a whole different ball. So everybody was like, what am I doing? Right? What's his name? Curtis get the ball. He's trying to hold it to make sure everything comes down and nobody's moving around. He loses the ball. And then we get hit with the counter attack. Nunes is holding the ball, trying to bring people to him, and nobody's running. He loses the ball. Gakpo, non-existence, right? But one thing that I want people to understand, there's a part where Gakpo made a run. He was wide open. He made his run, and he had his hand up. And Bradley had the ball. And Bradley was on the break. When I was coaching, I always tell my players, what Kmart can do, honesty can do. So you can't tell me to let Kmart do something that honesty can do. That ball, if it was Trent came, put the ball right on Gakpo's feet. Bradley doesn't have that in his locker. And I saw a lot of people either criticizing Gakpo or criticizing Bradley. Bradley is not Trent. That is what we know for a fact, that those type of skill, it's only a few people who can do that. In the league right now, there's only 2, and that is Trent and KDB. So that part, when that ball happened, I was like, oh my God, he's going to force it. Personally, if it was me, don't try to give him the ball because you can't do it. So, that part, I don't know why everybody was criticizing either Gakpo or criticizing Bradley. That's not Bradley's skill. That is not Bradley's skill. He can't do that. Now, if it was Trent, that ball was going straight to Gakpo, and possibly he's in front of the goal. So that's the part where people need to understand. And one part that came out, what you said that I agree with, it was, and I mentioned it when I came on Ensman TV. At one point, everybody was waiting for Gravenberch to be the hero, instead of everybody working him and trying to help him. So Bosolai was running around. By the time he gets the ball, he can't pass because nobody's moving with it. McAllister is trying to rotate the game, but nobody's moving because the person on his right, which is Gravenberch, is being double man marked. Everybody else is not moving with it. So he loses the ball. So this thing of hero ball got to stop. Salah has to stop it, trying to break records. Yeah, it's nice when you break records, but right now, when it's in the detriment of the team, stop. It doesn't help us. He did that a lot last season and this season. And yesterday. And he has to stop that.
We got Salah into the box so many times in that game. And that was what we were supposed to do. That is what you're supposed to do in a game. You're supposed to get your most dangerous player into the opposition box as much as you can. And we did. But he just didn't do anything right. He didn't pass the ball right. He shot at the wrong time. Those passes that he did along the to a man that was there free always got intercepted. And they put them on the attack. What we were doing was helping the opposition when we were in the attack, because we get everybody forward, ready to score a chance, and then we give the ball to them, and then they counter attack on us. I'm not talking about last season.
No, he's probably talking about it.
I'm not talking about last season.
Pops doesn't want nobody talking about his boy, so that's why he's coming in with violence. I got you, Pop. I got you. Big up to Mandem in the channel. Please hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. And please, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. We're trying to get to 400 before the end of the month. And if you don't know, go on K-Mac's channel, please. K-Mac, make sure to put it in the chat, or I'll put it in the description later. Go on K-Mac's channel and please subscribe to his channel. Big work happening over there. And of course, we have one of the Bajan family, Bajan Pops is in the building. Please go to their channel, Bajan Red TV, and also subscribe to their channel. But talking about last season, you can't tell me a few things you saw yesterday did not remind you of what happened last season.
What I wanted to say on that as well was you can't expect everything to be different. Like, you just can't expect that, because Slot really hasn't had that much time with the team, with the first 11. He really hasn't.
Yeah.
So him just consistently playing them is probably because he knows, well, these guys will remember what we did last game. They'll remember what we did the game before.
Yeah.
But it genuinely feels like they just forgot everything that they did in the previous games. It really does. Like the whole objective, if anything, as just muscle memory and just trying to win a game, is to get your most dangerous player in the box all the time. And they did that repeatedly to Salah, but he just did nothing with it. Just nothing with it.
Exactly. And honestly, this is a very, very good question. That's where I was talking about leadership. There was no leadership, right? It's not always on the captain. The captain can't be perfect all the time. Leadership. Liverpool has 5 different captains in the squad right now. Salah's one of them. Robo's one of them. Virgil's one of them. Right? This is where K-Mac was saying earlier that a lot of people did not understand. If Salah cannot go past Moreno, that's where he needs his right back to overlap so they can double team him. That did not happen. The right back was underlapping him or going through the middle trying to play midfield.
Look at his heat map. Look at his heat map. His heat map, he wasn't on the right. He wasn't on the right in the heat map. Look at Robbo's. He wasn't in the left back position on his heat map. Like, as much as everybody criticizes Shimikas, like, because he came on and committed a load of fouls, he was playing in the right position in that game when he came on the pitch. Robbo wasn't. I don't know. Like, I just don't know whether you can blame the manager, whether you can blame the players, whether
everybody should take. Hey, everybody, including the fans, everybody takes a help.
The fans walked out in the 80th minute.
Everybody.
The fans walked out in the 80th minute.
Everybody's catching an L. Everybody's catching an L, K-Mac. All of us are catching an L. Some people, if you are over sensationalizing the 3 wins, then what are you doing here? The idea is, we told you, Slot Ball probably won't kick in until next season. The man just got here. He doesn't have his team yet.
It'll take a while.
It was going to take a while. This is a mistake that needed to be, like K-Mac said earlier, have it now, learn from it. So when we play Tuesday, right? On Tuesday, if we play and he plays like this, then we're looking at the manager like, bro, what's going on here, right? Against Bournemouth, same thing happened, and the players can't figure it out. Then we're looking at the manager, hey, this is not going to work, right? These are games that you're supposed to be dominating and winning. Maybe it was just a bad day at the office, but the bad day at the office was very, very, very apparent that something was wrong. And it was. He said, question, didn't Anslot said my system different, but not that different to club? There will be elements of club system. And that's what K-Mac was saying earlier, and people were getting upset at him. He said the players did not listen to what the instructions that Slot gave him. They went straight to what they were comfortable with. Slot do not want to make a direct cut on the surgery.
You can't honestly tell me. Just watch that game back for the first 15 minutes. Just watch that game back for the first 15 minutes. Anyone on the channel now.
Yeah.
And you can't honestly tell me.
Big up Colin.
That didn't feel like desperation. That didn't feel
Exactly.
like
It was a
what we
desperation
did
ball.
last season. Like, just
Desperation
honestly, just
ball.
watch it back and
Mhm.
tell me that you don't feel the fact that, Jesus, is this the last 15 minutes of the game and we're trying to win it? Like, the game's just started. Why are we playing
Mhm.
like headless chickens? Like, why are we
Exactly.
playing chaos ball? Because it was chaos ball. Absolute
Thank you. We
chaos.
had no control of the game.
No one took a breath. No one
No,
just
thank you.
no one just spread themselves out. Like, just make the pitch a bit bigger. Like
Mhm.
just separate the confusion that was just going on inside. And
Mhm.
it was. Mtok's got it spot on. Bombing forward like crazy.
Mhm.
Like, seriously, it was an absolute mess. It
Exactly.
was. It
Yeah.
was the worst game I've seen in a very long time by Liverpool. It really was.
And
Like,
I mean,
I really don't want to say that. Like, but it did have shades of Napoli away.
yeah,
It did.
exactly.
It was
It
so
did.
bad.
Exactly. So that's why when we say that, because that's like you say, honesty, Slot does not want to change everything at once because that's too much shock to the system. He has to gradually. That's why I keep saying we are not going to see Slot ball until next year, because that's when he probably will change some of the players. He had more time with the players, and training every day changes everything, right? So a lot of times when you are used to something, you tend to go, when there's change, a little bit of change, and something goes wrong, you go back to what you are comfortable with. And that's what yesterday we saw. Like I said, I didn't see anything different from what Forest played than Ipswich did or Brentford did.
No.
They came at us and then they were very pragmatic. They come at us and they're very pragmatic. The only difference is Liverpool did not play what we were supposed to do. If we have calmed down, calm the game down, let us move the ball around. What does Law say? Kill them with passes. We didn't do that.
No.
We were just trying to launch in there. It seems like we were in a rush trying to get the first goal. And this is what I saw. We were playing the occasion. In the first 3 games that we played, we never played the occasion, especially the Manchester United game. We did not play the occasion. We just played our game. We calmed down. Everybody saw it. Everybody's like, yeah,
There was too much
it's the
emotion and
same
there was
as.
too much chaos. Too much emotion and too much chaos. And that just
Thank
isn't going to
you.
win. Isn't going to win us games under Slot.
Exactly. So that is exactly what happened.
If you've got all their players charging around like bulls, because there was a couple of
Mhm.
them that were just kicking people in the air and
Yeah.
fouling all over the place. If you've got them just charging around like bulls, just pass the ball around them.
Mhm.
Like,
And you see,
just make them
everybody's saying the
tired.
same thing. Yeah.
Just make them
Everybody's saying the
tired.
same thing. Everybody's saying the same thing. Everybody think that this was a club ball. It doesn't mean we're talking about club. We're talking about, we something slow. No. Just like Onesip said,
No, we're not.
Slot said, I'm not going to overchange too much. He's going to gradually, phase them out of the club system. And the first thing he did was calm down, slow the game down. Yesterday, we did not. We kept attack, and they hit us at one point, we were playing highline. That's all we're saying.
Jared,
Yeah.
it is Klopp's team. Like, he hasn't signed anybody that he's played yet. So it is Klopp's team. Like, I don't understand your point. It is actually Klopp's team.
It is club team, with the exception of the
He
player that he bought
hasn't
is not
played
even
a
on the
player
team.
yet. He hasn't played a player yet.
Mm-hmm. And the part where I'm, like I said, if I'm to criticize the manager, is Diaz, Robo, McAllister. Okay, I'll give you Jota. Play Jota. He was in Europe. But those 3 personally should have rested.
Jota only played 1 game, by the way, in Europe.
And Jota play exactly. So if anything, play Jota. Start Jota for half, because we know he's gonna play on Tuesday against Milan. Play him 50, 55, 60, and then bring Munich, just like he did. I like that. But Diaz, McAllister, and Robo personally should have not started. I think they should have come off the bench, right? Yeah. And then, because you're gonna use them on Tuesday. You're gonna go with your best squad, and we know your best squad is the one that you started with. So that's the part where I would criticize the manager, that he needs the workload. Like somebody was saying earlier, that rotation, he needs to start learning the rotation. And somebody brought this up. And honestly, I need your thing here. When he was in Eredivisie, he plays once a week. That's why he keeps saying, I like a small squad and keep playing the same players the same time. You can't do that with the EPL. Liverpool plays multiple matches in a week. So he also has to learn rotation. Embed instead of focusing on 13 players, maybe you need to focus on 16 players. Right? 16 players that get consistent game time. And they're going to be focused on the league and the Champions League. You know, when he was in the Eredivisie, he focused on 13. At Liverpool, you have to do 13, 17, solid. And that also includes the center backs.
Yep.
So that you know, if that's my criticism of the manager, and I hope that this will be something learned. And yes, I know what he said when he came after. He said, I can't make a change. No, bro. We're just saying, just be smart. You don't have to come out and tell us what your new taxes is. You could just BS us. But we can play like this against AC Milan, and we can play like this against Bournemouth. So
Artie's right, by the way. They will. They'll spend the whole week working on a way to beat us.
Mm-hmm.
This is what you paid for now. You're in the big boys. You're in the big boys league now. Like any team can beat any team on any given day.
Any given day. Welcome to the EPL.
Like, you know, there was an element in the game against Man City where they could have gone 2-0 down. Like, they could have gone 2-0 down in the first half. Like Aston Villa, like they were getting beat 2-0 by Everton. Like anyone can beat anyone. Like Bournemouth should have beat Chelsea. Like Bournemouth should have beat Chelsea. Like you know,
realism. Big up to the men down in the chat.
Score, by the way, on SofaScore, Matt Sell's got man of the match, which is the goalkeeper, their goalkeeper for Forest. So say what you want, like he threw the ball in his own net, like, but
yeah. And yeah, exactly. Realism. That's exactly what we say. People would, it was club team. Now that we lost, it's slot team. I heard somebody came in, slot needs to leave, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, my friend, come on now. Big up to the people in the chat, people watching. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like. And also go to K-Max channel. Please go to K-Max channel and subscribe. And definitely hit the notification bell. Subscribe. We're trying to get to 400. So please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the subscribe button. And also hit the notification button. So K-Max, moving forward, right? What do you want to see moving forward, especially the next game, which is AC Milan? Pick up yourself, Trigger.
I want to see some players rested. Like I just do. Like I want Bradley to play. I don't want Trent to play in Milan. I want Gravenberch to maybe get a rest. I mean, he took Jota off early, so Jota will probably play. But like
you know what? I'm going to say this.
Like, what message are you sending if you don't play Nunez now? Like, that's the thing for me. Like, what message are you playing if you don't play Nunez at all? Like, I just feel that like even like was Tsimikas any good to play against AC Milan away, or maybe you play Joe Gomez? I just don't know. Like,
Gomez! Everybody forgot about Gomez in the building.
I just don't know. Like, I really don't know. Like, are we going to play Virgil and Salah and McAllister again and Dom again? Like, are they really going to get flogged again? Like
3 games in a week, that's too much.
Salah played the whole match. Dom played the whole match. Virgil played the whole match.
Yeah.
Like Gravenberch played the whole match. Like Gravenberch hasn't played this much football ever
in a long time.
No, he just hasn't. So it's giving him 6 games on the bounce too much. Like for me, he was man of the match for Liverpool. Like I thought he was brilliant. Like, but he just can't do it on his own.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't know. Like Forest had 14 players out, but Forest players are all good players. Like they had a good squad. Like you can't say they didn't have a good squad. Like, they had like they had So they had a Brazilian international, a Argentine international in midfield. They brought a Welsh international on their on their right hand side in Nico Williams. They've got like, isn't he a Swedish international or Norwegian international, Ilanga? Then you've got like Hudson-Odoi, who was supposed to be like one of the best wingers for like young wingers to play for. He's got England caps as well, by the way, Hudson-Odoi. They've got an English midfielder who's got his England international. Like they've got a lot of good players. like they're not a shit team.
Yeah,
they've got a lot of good players. Anya's a Nigerian international. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, they've got, and they had a game plan. They really had a game plan.
No, they executed their game plan very well.
Just
I think we didn't play well.
Don't let Liverpool play football properly.
No, I agree. I want to see what the rotation that the manager is going to make, the tactical changes that he's going to make. I don't think AC Milan is going to be running around like Forest did. They're going to be more tactical with theirs. So I think they will probably play into our hands. Big up to the men them who have just joined us. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Paul, big up yourself. He said we need a reality check about this squad and understand that this is not as strong as we top red think it is.
Tyler Morton, Harvey Elliott, and Chiesa didn't get into this squad, by the way.
Exactly. I mean, I agree with you that we need a reality check.
Get into the team.
Yeah. Paul, we need a reality check. That's facts. However, if Liverpool needs to go to the transfer market to beat Forest, then we got a more problem than we ever thought we did.
Sorry, but if you're bringing Darwin Núñez, you'd bring in Darwin Núñez and Cody Gakpo off the bench, and they're not doing anything, then I'm sorry, that's on them. Like, that's on them.
Yeah.
Like, that's not on a squad.
He said Arsenal
Gakpo had a really good international tournament. Like, he get an assist and a goal, like, in the last 2 games.
He scored a goal over the break too.
Like he was brilliant in the Euros. Like, if you're bringing those two on and they're not doing anything in the game, then that's something to do with them. No, that's not the squad. Like Chiesa can't even get in the team. Like, we didn't even take him.
I'm not
having that. I'm not having that we haven't got a squad. Like, we have got
thank you. I agree. We have a squad. We didn't play well.
Packed full of internationals.
Of course, yes. Can we bring better players if we can? Sure, why not? But those better players, do they want to come to Liverpool? And don't tell me, if you have the money, they will come. Some players don't care about the money.
Like, I want Zubimendi and Kudus, absolutely. But like,
me too.
Who you taking out of the team?
Yeah. Angel says Arsenal. Angel said Arsenal. This is the part where I disagree with you. Today, how many yellow cards did they get? It's nice now, but eventually it's going to catch up to you in the middle of the season when your players don't need to be suspended. Today, Spurs was trash. Yes, they were unlucky, but they were trash. Spurs is not as good as people think they are. They should have beaten Arsenal today. They had opportunities. Solanke. Somebody told me Solanke is better than Núñez. How many open chances did he get? He tried to dribble the defender in the middle of the box instead of just taking the shot. I'm sorry. I mean, this is like you guys told us it was just 3 games. We shouldn't be ha. Hey, it's only 1 game. Don't be too overexcited. Let the league play itself out. We will see. Ali did not dive. Send it to Ali. This is my assumption. Ali felt like he was in the right position, so he had closed all his angles. So when the guy kicked Odoi hit the ball, it was a super shot. It went around him. He should have dove. Ali should have dove.
He watched it, mate.
If he dives, he catches it.
He literally did that.
And then turn around,
It's really poor, mate. It's really poor. Sorry.
He said Gomez should be left back. Some people agree. We need to start bringing Gomez into the team.
They only had 2 shots on goal. And they scored 1, which was poor. It was poor. Like, their XG was less than a goal.
Christian said we should have get into run.
Let's be real. Their XG was less than a goal. But Darwin and Gakpo coming off the bench should give you something. They should give you something. They gave us nothing in that game.
Mm.
We might as well have left Jota on and Diaz,
Mm-hmm.
because I think we probably would have got more out of Diaz than Nunes and
I think,
Gakpo.
like I say, Diaz should have come off the bench. McAllister should have come off the bench.
It's starting.
Gakpo.
It is starting to look like Anthony Gordon really was a player they were looking at now, because what we've seen from the left hand side is not good enough if Diaz isn't playing. It just is. It just isn't.
So no, this is what I want to get from Ali. Ali, are you saying off one game? Off one game, you told us it was only 3 games, so we shouldn't be overexcited. But because one game, we're gonna be overexcited. We're gonna be exposed in the middle of the season. Off one game, when we won 3 games straight, you guys told us don't be too overexcited. It's just 3 games. But we lose one game, and all of a sudden the whole season is done because we didn't buy players in the transfer window. You need players to come to beat Forest. Bro, if that's the case, then we never gonna win anything. What's it? Paul Sweet said what? We need a reality check about this squad and understand that it doesn't matter who you buy. If you buy players and they come in and play like this, it doesn't matter. If players don't listen to their manager, it doesn't matter. It's simple. We have a very good squad. Whether they're good for you or in your eyes or not, that's okay. That's your judgment to make. But spend money just so what? So you could banter Manchester United fans or Arsenal fans and say, yeah, we got it. Arsenal fans were still talking about we didn't do enough after spending 600 million. But yet you guys make fun of Chelsea fans. You make fun of Chelsea for spending $1 billion and still have trash team. It does not compute.
We just beat Manchester United 3-0 away, like with the team that we had on the pitch. Like, there was an issue. There was an issue with the tactics. Like, players weren't doing what they were supposed to do. Like, if you're telling me that Trent was supposed to be in midfield for that game and not doing any defending, and Robbo was supposed to be playing as like an attacking midfielder, like then that's on the manager. Okay, that's on him for setting it up like that. But I just don't see how that was the way it was supposed to be, because he took Robbo off and Tsimikas played in the right position, like, and did the right job, and so did Bradley. Like, so if you're telling me that's the way it was supposed to be, then it was really naive, and we shouldn't have played 2 at the back and like 4 in midfield. And you know, it was awful. Yeah, it was awful. I'm gonna go now, mate. Okay, because
all right, man. Big up, man. Thank you so much.
I haven't really got much else to add, mate. It was the worst game I've seen in a very long time, and it was some of the worst performances I've seen by the usual suspects that I've picked out so many times in Robbo and Trent. Like, they were just dreadful. Like, it was the worst game I've seen Salah play, I think, full stop, for Liverpool. Like, it really was. Like, he was awful. And I worry about AC Milan away, because there needs to be sweeping changes, because we need to have players that aren't goosed to play against Bournemouth. And this international period has fucked us. And the next international period is probably going to fuck us as well. Like, I don't think he's going to be able to fix the problems which Jurgen had when we came back from international breaks. But he needs to play more players. Like, Jurgen would have played different players. Jurgen wouldn't have played McAllister. He just wouldn't have. He probably wouldn't have played Robbo, mate. I wouldn't have seen him playing those players, like, because he'd gone there goosed. Like, but it is what it is.
No, he has to learn, and hopefully he did learn. Big up yourself.
I'd rather he got hit early with his first defeat and take that on the chin and realise who we can and who we can't trust, than 3 games before the end of the season, and it's really vital that we get a win at home against Forest, and they beat us, and then we're out the league title, like, right at the end. You know what I mean? I'd rather we got this out of the way early than later on, and that's the only positive I see in any of it. And I mean.
Thank you. Yeah, I see you, man. Big up yourself, man.
We have more shots. We have more chances. Like, that's just a fact. Like, we hit the woodwork. Their goalie got man of the match. Like, you could say loads and loads of other stuff was crap. But
and this is the part. What's the name, Angel? You said we're making excuses, but it is a fact. First 3 games we played very well. We came back from international break. We not playing well.
Really
I think that people also
internationals.
Yeah, this is the part where you think is excuses, but the big squads have more players international. The small teams don't. They can train all 2 weeks while the other squads are taking a break. That is a fact.
We haven't
to you, it's an excuse. It's a fine. That's a fine.
We haven't had much time on the training pitch with
all of them.
We just haven't. We haven't had much time. Like,
yeah,
I don't even
this
think
is
we've
more
had more
FIFA.
than 10 training sessions with the new coach. I don't even think we've had more than 10. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and the thing, big up yourself, man. And the thing that people also need to get is we're gonna make a lot of mistakes. Exactly. These players should be good enough to beat Forest. That's the part what I'm saying. These players should be good enough to beat Forest. And if you need a different squad from I don't know where to beat Forest, then we have a better problem. He says, stop with the delusion, please. It's embarrassing. We got forwards with no Well, our forwards were scoring goals except last game. So I don't know what you mean by that. There's only been a few forwards in the world right now who are banging in goals. One of them is in City. So unless we bring other people in, then what are we doing? Big up Pops. He said we didn't need time for the first 3 games. The first 3 games was not easy. It's just that we played well to beat them. This one we did not. I didn't see anything different from what Forest did than what Ipswich did, than what Brentford did. They all have pacey players, strong defense, and very, very physical midfielders. Manchester United was just, they thought that the occasion was going to get them over the hump, and we outclassed them. I don't think it's, we are dead in the dump of 1 game. If you say we are dead on the dump of 1 game, then you shouldn't tell people who are celebrating the first 3 games and say, oh, it's just 3 games, it's just 3 games, and it's just Ipswich, it's just Brentford. Nah, it has to go both ways. It has to go both ways. You're going to lose. This is the EPL onslaught. Welcome to the EPL. Anybody can lose at any time. He understands it now, and if he hasn't learned, then that will be a bigger problem in the future. But knowing what this manager is, he tends to fix his tactics when something does not go right. Yesterday, everybody knew what the problem is, but the people who try to create an agenda of that just to sensationalize off a loss, you're stretching it. Because what I saw that was annoying me in the spaces was, let's blame Szoboszlai. Why? Everybody was trash. And this thing of when it comes to I don't know what people always want to see exactly from Szoboszlai. I don't know. People don't tell me. You guys are only talking about on the ball issues. What about off the ball? Yesterday, a lot of people were very angry with Salah. But one thing that I saw about Salah yesterday was he tracked back. He ran back to defend quite more than often. That's why I'm not fully going gung-ho on Salah. Yes, Salah on the ball did not do well. Salah going forward did not do well. It's right there to see, right? Instead of passing the ball, he's trying to create something out of nowhere. That one, I can't hide that. But Salah, a couple of times where something that even myself I've criticized Salah for, where he doesn't track back. He just sits there and just want to get the ball so he could just do his thing. I didn't see that from him yesterday. Yesterday, he literally was running back to help with the defense and then, do what he does. But the thing is, he couldn't beat the left back one time. That one is not just on him. Yes, he is part of it, but it's not just on him. That's part of the leadership. Where was Trent overlapping so that they can double team on that guy? Right? Yes, if you want to criticize the midfield. This is where you criticize Gravenberch and Szoboszlai and say, hey, where were you guys at to help Salah out? Right? Free Salah. You free Salah, he's very, very dangerous. There was no communication. That's the one thing that I saw that annoyed the living daylight. Big up to yourself, Brian. Good to see you out here, man. Thank you for coming through. He did not. The communication was definitely not there. If the communication was there, a lot of things that we saw would have probably not happened. And one of our communication was we were just stagnant. We just trying to pass the ball, but without moving. That was one of the things. Eventually, when it wasn't working, they panicked. And when they panicked, what did they do? They play ISO ball. They start launching the ball. They're trying to go direct. That is not our game. You know what I mean? Angel is like, what? We have numerous players, 6 foot plus, but only VVD is a danger from corner. It's not good enough. That's true. That is very true. That is very true. We have to be dominant in the box. We are not scary like we used to be some years back, where if you get a corner kick, and even that time we weren't that big. So yeah, that one I agree with you. We need to be more dominant in the offensive side of dead balls. Defensive wise, we're doing good. We defend very well with the set pieces, but when it comes to attacking side, yeah, it's very, very, very lacking right now. I am starting to believe that the reason he hasn't made any changes is because he doesn't rate the alternatives. That is also a very fair point. That is a very, very fair point. I don't know if to me, I think he is trying to have his solid 11 and then the alternatives will follow, right? You want to make sure that when Salah gets off, yes, are you going in and you're doing exactly what, not exactly, but you are in the caps of what Salah was doing. We don't want that drop off. We don't want you to go in and you doing your own thing, right? So I think that's what he's trying to implement. But this is the EPL. You have to make sure that everybody is getting at least 16 to 17 players have to be consistent in that squad, right? You could use the kids later, but right now that we have Champions League is going to be on all the way till what, January? Everybody has to play. And you have to trust him because, bro, you said you didn't find anybody else better than what you had. That's what he said, right? The one that you wanted, you couldn't get. So you didn't go after anybody else. So my manager, you got to fix that problem. You can't say, I don't trust him. You know, I'm using what Brian said here. If he doesn't trust the alternative. If he doesn't trust the alternative, then why didn't you go into the market? That's all I'm going to say. He said, whereas no, Sherlock, he doesn't think these players, if they don't cut it, why did you keep him all summer? Matip, Virgil, and Fabinho in the box. Yeah, that's true. Brian, what's your thoughts on players needing to shoot more? Do you agree, Coutinho? Yeah, we don't have shooters. So Szoboszlai needs to shoot more. That one, I agree with people. I think he's trying to walk the ball into the net. He's trying to be too cute sometimes. Just shoot the ball, man. You have it in your locker. I believe he has it in the locker. That's why a lot of fans get frustrated with him. Shoot the ball. Sometimes don't pass it to Salah. Forcing it to Salah sometimes is very, very frustrating because Salah probably is tired. I am hearing people blaming Nunes like he's been big up yourself, Honcho. People forgetting that Jota is playing more minutes and missing chances. That's true. That's the agenda, merchants, man. They are quick to blame instead of sitting down and paying attention to the game. Try to understand what the manager is trying to do. Whether you agree with it or not, understand it. It's like you and I having debate and you are for something and I'm against something, right? And then we say, okay, what I'm against now, make an argument for it. And then you, something that you for, make an against argument for, you know, to what we the debate is. If you can't do both, then I'm sorry, you were just an agenda merchant. Whether I agree with what the manager did or not, I have to still understand what he's trying to do. Then I'll be able to say, yeah, it's not making sense, my manager. But if you are just like, oh, this, that, no, bro, no. Big up yourself, Trigger. He said column goals from outside the box are all-time low across the league. It's coaching thing. That could be true because everybody's copying Pep. He said if you don't rent them players, why will he say it's hard to find players to improve? That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I said. That's the you see, this is the part where I'm saying whether I agree with the manager or not, I can just say this is what the manager said and go with what he said because I'm trusting the manager. But if whatever the manager said goes wrong, you should be able to come back and say, my manager, this is what you said. So what's going on? Hindsight is always 2020. But it's always good to be, have plans and backup plans, right? And that's why some of the fan base who are frustrated that we didn't do enough are saying we didn't make enough backup plans. If Jota has a stinker, they still find a way to blame Nunes. Yeah, if Nunes didn't even come off the bench, they would have still blamed him. Brian, I agree when we Barclays out. Prem, yeah, Guardiola. Everybody's playing like Guardiola. They want to pass it. And sometimes, create a chance and make it easy on your striker. And that's exactly what City's doing. The robot is not doing nothing fantastic. He's just always at the right place at the right time and then do your thing. And that's something that I think we need to find somebody who could do that, where we would do the hard work for you, and then our striker has to put the ball in the net. Endo performed well in the big games last season. Why didn't he bench subs and push Grab? Grab is not good up top. That's the part where people need to understand. Grab needs to have time to see the game. People are assuming that because the way he moves in the deeper role, he can do exactly the same thing there up top. No, pay attention. In the deeper role, he has time. There's only 2 or 3 people coming at him. When you go up top, you got the back 4 or 5 plus another 4 that you have to deal with. So whatever he's doing in our side of the field, he can't do that over there, because if you do that too much, guess what happened? You're going to lose the ball and you're going to get hit with the counter attack. So that's the part where people need to understand. That's not his game. That was never his game. Klopp tried to make it his game. When he was at Ajax, 16 years old, he was a double pivot holding midfielder. When he went to Bayern, that's why he chose Bayern over Liverpool, because guess what? Bayern plays 2 pivots. But then he didn't get a chance to, take Kimmich and them boys out, right? Goretzka and all those guys. They were way too strong for him. When he came to Liverpool, we tried to make him into a player that he was not. So don't think that he can go up top and do exactly the same thing. No, it's not going to work. The player that can possibly do that is McAllister, because he is a press resistant, a very close, what do you call it? Close corners, close spaces, press resistant. Grab is a press resistant. Yes, he is, but not as the same as McAllister is. Huncho, what did he say in public and what he thinks in private might be 2 different things. That's true. And that's about the transfer stuff. Well, he needs to understand Liverpool fans are listening to, and we know we like, bro, are Liverpool fans listening to him? Or most Liverpool fans are just making things up? They pick one thing that he says and then they will just go in and make it up. I'm sorry. He has said, we have good enough players. The players that I want, who are better than who I have right now, it's very hard to get. That's what he said. So if people are saying he doesn't trust the players he has right now, then my manager, what are you telling me? Grab can dribble. We had no ball carrier because Diaz was subbed. Sub was terrible. No, I agree. Yesterday, Diaz, that wasn't Diaz's best game. I was expecting Sobo to take over the game because I knew how Forest was going to play. If you watch K-Mac's preview, I was on there and I said I wanted to see how Szoboszlai is going to take the game over, because that is the style of the game that he needs to take over. But the thing is, You see, when Szoboszlai is playing for Hungary, he's the Don Dada. Everything runs through him. Liverpool, he's not. He do way too much running at Liverpool than when he's in Hungary. And even in Hungary, he he doesn't have the help, and he works his socks off, right? So the idea is the manager needs to find the right balance. The manager needs to find the right balance. And personally, I don't think he should have subbed McAllister. If you're going to play him, let him finish the game. I agree. I think Jones should have come in as a number 10. Endo hasn't played a lick of football even in preseason. He could have uploaded him and got someone who, yep, that's facts. I'll be kind and say new team didn't have enough time to get, yeah. I mean, that's true. That is very true. The fan base will flip-flop again if we win on it. Thank you. Thank you. You know that. You know that. Big up to Trailer from Manila. What man them saying? Man them are mad, man. Man them are mad. And I agree with them. They need to be frustrated, but I want us to be, put some common sense into the frustration. Just don't make off the mark comment. Just don't make off the mark comment. Blaming players, nah. All of them didn't play well. For one of the Haaland goals, the Brentford defender got bodies like I was. Hey, you messing with the machine, man. The RoboCop. Terminator. Do you think Slot will sell Hendo in January? I think he will. Personally, I also think that we might go back for Zubimendi, especially if we are very, very close with the league, whether we are fighting for top 4 or for the Premiership, and we are still in the Champions League. I think they will get maybe one more to come help, change the things a little bit. This is the reason why I'm saying, yes, I am annoyed with Zubimendi, but this is the game that we need a Zubimendi, somebody who's different, who is just different. So Bosley, McAllister, Graf, great players. Graf has been playing well. But if McAllister is too tired, you put Zubimendi in there. And he and Gravenberg would have been killing this team because their passes alone, or Gravenberg, moving the ball alone would have changed a lot of things. We just didn't play well, people. We can win the next 10 games straight. We are in a top 4 battle with the squad. It's not good enough to challenge. I don't want to say good enough because Arsenal fans are crying that they are not good enough. City is just the same machine and the great coach, the best in his generation. So, and hey guys, tomorrow their case begin. Because he's not giving up on Zuba. I read it. No, I'm not. The guy's class. The guy's class. He's good. Looking at what this is the part where I tell people, I know what the manager wants. He has watching the game that he played, how he coaches, how he wants to play. Zubimendi is his style of player. So unless there's another Zubimendi out there, you let me know, and then we should go for that player. But that profile of player, which is Zubimendi, is what he's looking for. So if anybody say, okay, I don't want Zubimendi because he embarrassed us, let me know who is that profile of Zubimendi. And if you tell me who that profile is, then let's bring it in. People, please hit the like button. Please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, man. Thank you so much for rocking with me on this Sunday. We are all frustrated, but you are here. If you are fit, you don't play a minute in 4 games, you have admitted there's a problem. That's true. That means you are not in the manager's plans. You are not training hard enough to be better than the people ahead of you, or the manager just don't like you. What makes you think Zubimendi will want to come to us in January? I will tell you why. He didn't get a new contract. They are not giving him a new contract. He hasn't stated the terms of the new contract. Liverpool will be a far advanced team than Real Sociedad. He can. The profile that he is the style of play that we play at Liverpool. So he is a player that I would say 85% of the time he's starting. Blue Monday. Bro, oh man, I'm just gonna leave this. 115 or 130 charges. If the EPL do a better job in this, the league is over. That's all I'm gonna leave it at. Kwesi, who does AC Milan have that worries you? Honestly, I'm not worried about AC Milan. If Liverpool play the way Liverpool's supposed to play, I'm not worried. I'm expecting a very good match. It's not going to be easy, for sure. If Liverpool do not play like we played yesterday, I don't see why we don't win. We have better players. Leo is not consistent, right? Leo is not consistent. So I'm not really concerned. They do have good midfielders, though. Their defense are so, but the attackers are not consistent. That's what I see. So Liverpool should not go there saying we need to buy more players to beat AC Milan. Nah. Now, if you're talking about Real Madrid, which we have after AC Milan, that's a whole different conversation, because the way we played yesterday, we play against Real Madrid like that. Oh my Lord. Thank you, Pops. 130 charges. He says City will manage to pay off the Prem. The league has been bought. Bro, if they man, if you want your league to be destroyed, then try to buy the league. But the part where I understand what you're saying is they bring so much money to the league that but at the same time, Juventus was relegated a couple times for doing some dumb stuff, right? So the Premier League should set a precedent. Whether you bring money or not, don't cheat. Because I can be like, hey, the start of the season we will have ups and downs, and after one, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Whether we lost on the 15th day of the game week, or the 25th day of the game week, is still a loss. It's okay to be frustrated, especially when we play bad and we lose. But all I'm saying is people need to be rational about it. Don't go off the cuff and start blaming players who had nothing to do with it. All of them were horrible. Big up to Sideline. Sideline, I need your info, man. If you have me on WhatsApp, please hit me up. I was trying to get you on the show today. There's nothing concrete to suggest Zubimendi position has changed since the summer. Is rumors and assumptions. Well, when I listen to my people, David Ornstein and Fabricio, that's not what they're saying. They say it could be they didn't say it will be a possibility. They say it could be a possibility where Liverpool would do the same thing they did with Virgil. If Zubimendi was going to be concrete, because remember, after this season, he has 1 year left. Big up, Pops. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Cuchillo, man. Yeah, man, those you had to be there, Pride. You had to be there. Those were some good times. I am sending you the bill. I smashed the like button and broke my phone. Big up yourself. Big up yourself. I have a comment that Neil put out here. He said Gravenberg needs a protector. Can Endo do that? McAllister in the 10, Szoboszlai on the right. What you guys are thinking, though? What do you guys think about that? I agree with that. Players, and I think what you're trying to say is that if we're gonna play Gravenberg in that position against a team like Forest, who are very physical, who's gonna come in like that, we need somebody to protect him, because he was double teamed a lot. He was trying to get free, but he couldn't, because every time he tried to get free, he runs into Trent. He runs into Robo. He was running into what's the name? Szoboszlai quite a bit. So I definitely agree. We need to have somebody who will be his like bodyguard, who will be out there protecting him. That's a very fair comment. Kwanzaa, you just fighting hard to keep your flowers from the summer, man. Just no. I'm not. I am not, man. I'm telling you. Listen, go watch the Athletic podcast. I think it was 2 weeks ago before the Man U game. And I'm telling you, when it happens, I'll get my flowers back. You know what I mean? I will get my flowers back. Big up sideline. I got it, man. Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna have to send you a link in the upcoming shows, maybe next or whatever. It's Tuesday possibility. I'm trying to have a show on Tuesday, so maybe me and you can, I'm trying to get Pops in the barbershop, but he keep running. He's scared. You see, I didn't come after your boy. If CT wins, it will look bad for the Prem, and other clubs will think it's open season. Yep, I agree. If City win, I mean, it's 130 charges. Some of the charges are okay, and it's not that serious. But the serious one, if they get away with the serious one, and they just fine him 30 million, 100 million, or whatever, yeah, everybody's going to be looking at City different. But we want to see. You call your bluff. And also, if City wins, they can sue the league. That's why they sued the league in the beginning of the summer, saying defamation of character, which is a big lawsuit. Because for 2-3 years, you've been defaming us, saying that we are cheaters, and you couldn't find anything to state your claim. They can sue the league so bad, which will even make the league even worse, because that means, let's be honest, because they could say because we are an Arab-owned club, you guys are being discriminatory against us. They could go there. Then it makes the Premier League look like, oh, you guys are very, not racist, but discriminatory against certain group of people or certain group of ownership. Because you won't do the same thing to Chelsea, or you won't do the same thing to Liverpool or Manchester United. And let's be honest, Chelsea is also next after this. There was a lot of shady things going on under Abraham. The guy that everybody say, oh, he cares and loves football so much, he's the best owner ever. He was cheating a lot. And he said, how do you know? Because Blue Lake and Todd Bowley snitch on themselves, because that was the only way they could possibly get a lesser fine or a lesser punishment. And that's one of the reasons why, it's one of also the reason why there's a civil war going to Chelsea right now. He said, F that. They ain't getting off. I'm with you, man. They don't have a lawyer like me. Now, if they let me represent them, they might get off. I'm sorry. I'm just a good lawyer like that. You know how that kangaroo courtroom that Ants and G and Savage tried to put me in. Now, Kwesi, I ain't buying it, but big up to you sticking to your. I'm just saying, bro, you give up too much. Don't give up, man. Don't give up. Don't give up. Pops, I'm just saying, your boy, as much as you guys gave him 0 on the player rating, I felt like he was very good. I mean, I would say very good. He did good things. He was very defensive, which is something that a lot of people always criticize. He tracked back. He came and helped. The problem is Trent did not communicate well. Trent did not overlap enough to free Salah to be able to do what Salah does. And Salah did, when things got worse, he became very, very selfish. Crazy, I'm looking at Onslaught as a guy that is new at the job, even though he did the job before. Yeah, I mean, that's a fact. Football is the only job that if you get, you don't have time. You just have to get the ball running. You have to get hashtag 130 problems. Yep. Chelsea offering me a contract. Sack slot. Damn, Alexander. Off one loss. This guy says sack him. Man, No, we will see on Tuesday. We have AC Milan, right? Tuesday is the game. Let's see what happens. Will the players get back to what they were doing in the, it said Mo has been tracking back for all 4 games. Yesterday, he was rubbish going forward, one of his worst games. That's 1,000 correct. I agree. Yesterday, he did track back. He did help out a little bit. But going forward, oh my God, that was not the Mo that usually it's the other way around, right? But yeah, you're right. And that's why I didn't, on the show, if you saw my comment, I said giving him 0 was harsh. And that's the part where a lot of Liverpool fans also needs to understand. You can't just rate somebody just on when he gets the ball, or if you saw him make a run or he make a pass. No. You got to both sides of the game. The game is defense and offense. Even the attackers also have to play defense, right? So you have to judge them on both sides. It's very easy to criticize them because they are on the ball and they miss the pass or they're losing the ball or whatever. It's even worse when they are not even tracking back or helping with their teammates and they're losing the ball and all that kind of stuff. That's why with me, yes, it's very easy to criticize players, but are they doing other things? Sometimes that's why managers use to judge players. If they're doing other things and they're off the ball, because on the ball could come just like that. All it takes is Salah being great. All it takes is one good pass, one good shot, and it's a goal. And we forget about everything he did. Chelsea, Everton, Leicester, Southampton are all in trouble. Well, Leicester has been forgiven. They're not going to get the punishment from the league. Everton might get another deduction. Chelsea, I think theirs will be next year. We won't see it this year, but it'll be next year. Yeah, but 75% of an attacking player is just on his attacking. Working hard is bare minimum requirement. Yeah, but like Klopp said, unless you are Messi, you got to play defense. You got to run back. You know what I mean? Working hard, yeah, it's bare minimum, but we've seen players who don't do anything. They just stand there and give me the ball so I can do something sexy. And at least if you are not be able to do sexy, do the dirty work. You got to balance yourself out, right? If Salah is having a great game, yes, 75% of it is because he's passing, he's taking players on, he's beating them, whatever. But if Salah is the reason why a goal goes in, trust me, that 75% is going to disappear very fast. Rabiot might go to Marseille. And I'm surprised where he's still not gone. He's not going to get a Premier League team. Nobody's going to pay him that much. The Ansman courtroom is legit because you are part of the co-conspirators. That's why you're saying that. Watch your back, people. Watch your back. Honesty is a spy. It's a double agent, triple agent. Slot the B-Tech Kojak will learn from his defeat, this defeat. He better. You can't create the same mistakes. Otherwise, the fans, nobody criticizes wingers. We concede goals every game. The defenders get criticized. That's true. But if sometimes your winger needs to drop back and support you, right? I mean, that's what, I mean. Judy. Yes, sir. Oh, man, thank you, people. We are frustrated. We are upset. It's okay. Let it out. But Tuesday, we are back into the office, and we got to get back to business. We got to win. We got to support the guys. Give this guy time to gel. The manager is trying to figure it out, right? There's time to criticize the manager. I criticize him because I feel like he should have never started McAllister. He should have never started Robo. He should have not started Diaz. Especially McAllister and Diaz, those South American players, Klopp, that's one thing I loved about Klopp when he figured it out. He didn't start them anymore after international break. He gives them time, right? Nunes didn't go anywhere. Starting Nunes, I don't think would have been a bad idea. Jota, it's okay because he had one game. He was still in Europe. So his travels is not far. But the South Americans, for sure. Robo, the reason why I'm saying Robo is because Robo just got back from an injury. He was in Euro. And he went, he went to international break, played 2 games. So give him time for his body to recover. That's what I'm saying. He shouldn't have started. Get Tsimikas in there. Tsimikas hasn't played enough games. Get him going, right? So that's what I'm saying. But the manager, I'm hoping that the manager will drill in their head, say, people, calm the game down, relax. Yesterday's match, it was just rock and roll football that we even club didn't even like to play. So we need to stop that. And that could be also something. I think yesterday, the people who came off the bench were doing something different from the players that already was on the pitch. That's what happened. They were both disjointed. That's why Nunes is trying to hold the ball and say, hey, can I make, nobody was run. He and Gakpo kept running to each other. Jones came in and he's trying to control the match, but nobody's moving. So he kept losing the ball in midfield and on the sideline. It was a mess. It was a mess. Let's just hope let's scratch it off as one loss. We move on, right? We move on. Next match. The manager hopefully has learned his mistakes, trust certain players. Rotation. This is the EPL. So big up to Mandem who came in. Please subscribe. Big up to K-Mac who was on the show. Please go to his channel and subscribe. Big up to Mandem. Brian, I think you guys have a show tomorrow, right? You and 12 Men. Big up to Pops, Bejan Red TV. Please go there and support them too. Liverpool supporters, man. We just have to stick together. If we're gonna get mad, we get mad in-house. When you go to another person, a rival fan channel, don't embarrass Liverpool. Don't talk about Liverpool. Let them talk all that foolishness and you support Liverpool. When you come here, we can get into a fight all you want. It's 115 Aiken. Forward and midfield line, they didn't do anything. Final ball was bad and we should pepper the foot. I agree. And that was because we didn't do what we were supposed to. That's it. Either we took them for granted, either the international break really hurt us, or whatever it is, we did not do what we were supposed to. And I hope the manager can see that early and make changes. If you have to make sub like you did Ipswich, do it. And I think Chiesa should have been in the starting lineup. At least give him some game time. But I think he will come off. He will get some game time against AC Milan. But yeah, people, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. Please share. We appreciate you guys. We'll be back, LFC vibes, and we will talk more about it. Oh, no, actually, maybe I'll do what Mandem are saying tomorrow to preview the match on Tuesday. I don't want to bug people during the match. So, yeah, we look really, really tired and fatigued. At the 67 minute, I thought it was done. Yeah, I thought it was done. Big up to Honesty. He said today crazy kids will go to eat the Buckies. Are we doing good in the subscription and the likes? If we are, then that's where we're going. Bless up, everyone, man. Big up to all of you guys. Thank you for being here. You could have been anywhere else, but you're rocking with your boy. Appreciate you guys. Big up to Mandem, Crazy Bold. Peace.